Welcome back to Pro Wrestling Throwdown for the week of February 7th, 2021. I'm Caleb Black. This is Luke the Big Dog Williams, our in-studio producer, the mighty Max Fury. And Luke, how's your Sunday going?
Oh, yeah, SmackDown.
Max, how's your Sunday going?
Fucking great.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you did. All right.
It is Super Bowl Sunday. Congratulations to the Buccaneers and the other team they're
That's
playing.
a bold-ass
I
prediction.
don't remember. Well, to making it to the Super Bowl.
Oh, he's the Chiefs.
Yeah, who do they play? The Kansas City Chiefs. That's right. I forget.
Not that I watch football.
Yeah, no. Congratulations to the Buccaneers when they win tonight. Anyway, it's time to talk wrestling. It's time for what's news in wrestling. Got a lot going on, but not so much going on.
All at the same time.
The Conrad Thompson Podcast Network has expanded. It's got like 8 of them now, with Kurt Angle as a topical podcaster, and I am so excited to listen to that debut episode of that podcast.
I think it'll be great. Conrad Thompson, the man who has no sleep, now has
I have
less sleep.
no idea how he manages not only all of those podcasts, but all of those personalities between Pritchard and Ross.
The way he can do it is because, he's married to Flair's hot daughter, and the Nature Boy shit has just rubbed off on him.
Not
so
Charlotte Flair, one of his other daughters.
No, the other hot daughter.
Good Lord. Good.
There's 2 of them.
Booker T is still currently engaged in a lawsuit with Activision. Claims that the game creator who created Black Ops 4 stole his G.I. Bro likeness and is now using it for a character. What do you think about that, Luke?
You don't want to know anything about this video. All right, here's the deal. If it looks like him, like to a T, which evidently it does,
You mean to a Booker T?
Max! But the thing is, if it looks exactly like him, I haven't seen it, so I can't specify on everything, but if it looks like him, sure. Sue the hell out of him, get your money the only way you can get your money. That's the way that is. However, if it's just an African-American character
in the military garb, certain features that are the same,
then
you can't really claim that they stole the likeness.
I mean, I'm fat and have a beard. I mean, you know how many hobbits have been in video games that look just like me?
Right, like you owe Kevin Smith money just for walking around
right?
with that.
Seriously though. I mean, if it's warranted, good for Booker T.
Right.
If not, stop it.
Right. We also have to mourn the passing of one Butch Reed, who passed away this previous weekend. Apropos, however, gives us a more topical reason to cover him as it is Black History Month.
Yes.
And every single video this week for the remainder of the month of February, we're going to highlight African-American contributions to professional wrestling because we believe representation is important. And honestly, they should be highlighted every day of the year. But because it's Black History Month, we're going to take special steps to make sure that we acknowledge the great, late, and some current African-American wrestling superstars who are progressing the sport and progressing the inclusivity of the sport, starting with Butch Reed.
The natural Butch Reed was probably one of the first in that era of professional wrestling that come from the NFL, being a former Kansas City Chief, and immediately made an impact in the tag team division of all divisions with his heavyweight tag team champion partner Ron Simmons, who most people know as Farouk, APA, all that good stuff. But when they were Doom,
man,
they first off, they come out in masks when they originally come in as Doom, and then eventually pulled off the mask, had Teddy Long as their manager.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked when I went back to look at the archive and only found out that they were only tag team champions in WCW once.
Yeah.
Even though in my recollection, probably the same way I think about Kirk Hennig as being Hennig's name and not Hennig.
Yeah.
I remember them being champion for quite a long time, so evidently that one run must have spanned God knows how long. But
of course, you got to remember, too, it's syndicated television, so we might not have seen, every title defense they had because they were still on that WCW, go here, wrestle here, from here, wrestle there.
Yeah.
So they probably defended the belts a lot more than we even know.
Right, and championship matches were more scarce back then when it come to championships being traded.
Yes,
as in Monday Night Raw, in a month span you could have 17 title changes.
Right.
R-Truth, I'm looking at you. But no, 2 big burly men who got in there, got gritty, got dirty. Tag team champions Butch Reed,
natural powerhouses too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the stories about both of them collectively. This was before powerlifting was even really a thing. Those guys wouldn't even go to the gym maybe once or twice a month,
right?
And would still bench press 500 pounds like they were asleep.
Yeah,
which is just insane. Speaking of like genetic superiority in like muscle retention is crazy,
right? Well, I mean, if you weren't a fan of WCW. Where Butch Reed did the majority of his work as on Popular and on television.
Right.
He was in a match at WrestleMania 3 against Billy Jack Haynes.
Yep.
In a Full Nelson versus Full Nelson match, which stands in my mind as being one of the best gimmick matches.
Yeah.
For that time, locked in the Full Nelson, they both spill to the outside. Billy Jack won't let him go.
Yeah.
And they get a count out. The only way you could end a match like that. And yet that finisher wasn't, no one wanted to put over the other guy's finisher. Yeah. But yeah, Butch Reed is terrible news, the passing of Butch Reed, only 66 years old.
I know.
Fairly young.
Younger than Vince McMahon.
Yeah. Our condolences go out to the family.
Younger than Ric Flair.
Yeah, way younger.
Younger than Hogan.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, we have to acknowledge the passing of Leon Spinks, 63 years old. Was a former world's heavyweight champion in the boxing world,
yes.
And was a crossover. Had several crossover wrestling matches. This was a period of time in which that was kind of acceptable in the late 70s, early 80s. Most notably, a series of matches with Terry Funk in the Southern Territories, which were just great because Funk knew how to work. Funk could work with people who weren't exactly knowledgeable wrestlers,
right,
and still use their strengths. That's when Spinks would. I remember he backed Funk into the corner and hit him. Started hitting him, and Funk had sold out and sold over, and Spinks went for that one big wild one and turned into the ropes, and then that's where Funk did the heat takeover.
Yeah.
He used the boxer's momentum to kind of walk him into a headlock takeover, which was very well done because that wasn't a bump that Leon Spinks was like nominally trained to do.
Right.
Which was very cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, it set a trend. Boxing intercepting with wrestling has
been going on since time immemorial.
Muhammad Ali did it.
Mike
Tyson's done it.
Mayweather's done it.
Evander Holyfield's done it.
Yep.
I mean, and while those were more televised, this was during a different era, where a lot of that was basically lost. If you weren't at the show, or you didn't follow the trade magazines for professional wrestling, or I'm guessing boxing probably covered some of that too. There isn't really a whole lot that you can go down and really deep dive on,
right?
Unless, like I said, you were in those venues back in that day,
right?
But again, rest in peace, Leon Spinks. Condolences to your family and your friends. It's been a week, that's for sure.
Yep, what is it? Doug
Flutie
from the NFL recently attained the 24/7 championship yesterday during the charity game.
Doug Flutie?
Yeah.
Doug Flutie.
And the 24/7 champion?
Well, he was.
Oh, he was.
Momentarily by pinning R-Truth, and then R-Truth after the celebrity game pinned him back to get the belt back.
No, pinned him during the celebrity game.
During the celebrity game? That's even better.
Oh,
so that means R-Truth is now, like a 65?
577 time I-95 television United States European champion. Yeah.
I like how we both knew exactly where that was going to go up top.
Well, it's R-Truth.
Right.
It's my and you know what? Too. Here's the thing. You've got The Rock. This is going to be a weird comparison, but go with me on this. You've got The Rock.
I do.
He's been a world champion.
Yes.
He's been in movies.
Yes.
He owns his own stock in equipment.
The XFL he owns.
XFL. That's all well and good. R-Truth has not only defeated wrestlers for this championship, football players, NASCAR drivers, newscasters, DJs, sports people. He is the Iron Man of professional wrestling.
You know what else? The Rock has never been 24/7 champion.
He has not.
R-Truth has been 24/7 champion.
If you count all his champions,
511 times.
Well, here's the deal. Ric Flair only was heavyweight champion 17 times.
Are you saying here before God and everyone that R-Truth is better than Ric Flair?
Well, all I'm saying is that R-Truth was the first ever recognized NWA African American champion.
Yes, he was. Even though it should have been Ron Simmons.
Even though that was WCW. It was different.
It was still in the NWA. But, kept the nameplating, though.
But Ron Simmons doesn't have 577
he does
24/7 championships.
You know who does? Ron Killing.
Ron, the truth motherfucking Killing. Right. He is the GOAT in professional wrestling.
Well, guys, that's going to wrap us up for the news. Let us know what you thought about the news down below by sending us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/prowrestlingthrowdown. Follow us on Twitter at prowrestlingtd. Like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below. Stay tuned. We got more content coming, baby. Why do we call it content? Why don't we just call them videos?
I don't know. Yeah.